Same level of passion.
But you're not the judge or the jury in this case. You're the lawyer. We're talking to you not for your conclusions without evidence, but for the evidence you can marshal right now. I'm giving you the time. If you can't do it tonight, if you can't give us any arguments, then we will note that. But post December 14th, he's on tape doing it. We have a new call we learned about in the last week demanding it. How is that not soliciting or conspiring fraud?
That our client has not violated any of those. We're not going to look at it two-dimensionally. We're going to look at it three-dimensionally.
What did he mean?
I mean, full disclosure, I'm no lawyer, right? But I would think when somebody says they're looking at something three-dimensionally as part of their argument, I think they've already lost.
Do you acknowledge that Donald Trump lost?
Exactly, but that's what I stay focused on.
Do you acknowledge that Donald Trump lost the Georgia election?
I am.
That's an easy one. Do you acknowledge that?
I am.
Seems like it's a weekly occurrence that Ari Melber brings on a member of Trump's legal team to either humiliate them or simply offer them the platform to humiliate themselves.
If all of what you say is true,
It is.
then why was Trump hiding it and lying about it at the time? And I'll play that for your response. He lied about it. We all know that.
When you
Take
say
a
he
look.
lied about
Take
it,
a look.
Let's see.
Mr. President, did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Then why did Michael Cohen make it if there was no truth or allegation?
You have to ask Michael Cohen. Michael's my attorney, and you'll have to ask Michael.
Ari, that's what you're going to consider a lie. A lie to me is something material under oath in a proceeding.
Well, I didn't say perjury. I said a lie.
Yeah, but that's not a lie. That's
not a lie?
Here's why it's not a lie.
That's not a lie?
Here's why it's not a lie.
Did you know about this?
Put the paper down. Let me answer.
Did you know about this? No, I don't.
No, we don't need that.
But this time around, Melber had on Drew Findling, someone who had trouble finding a way to answer his simple questions. I'm here all week.
Same level of passion.
But you're not the judge or the jury in this case. You're the lawyer. We're talking to you not for your conclusions without evidence, but for the evidence you can marshal right now. I'm giving you the time. If you can't do it tonight, if you can't give us any arguments, then we will note that. But let me put up on the screen again for your rebuttal, if you want to take this time, election fraud in Georgia. If you request or attempt to cause another person to engage in voter fraud, that's criminal solicitation. If you conspire or agree with another to commit a violation, that is another Georgia statute. Those are both felonies. Those are just two, and there are, as you know, others. Donald Trump, post-December 14th, I'll give you the widest possible berth that before it's certified, there are arguments that could be theoretically made about alternate electors. But post-December 14th, he's on tape doing it. We have a new call we learned about in the last week demanding it. How is that not soliciting or conspiring fraud?
Yeah, so Ari, I'm familiar, my team is familiar with all those statutes. And while I'm looking at this, camera, I could tell you we're incredibly familiar with those statutes. They aren't new to us. We do a lot of political cases.
Sure.
We are absolutely confident, having looked at the evidence, that our client has not violated any of those. We're not going to look at it two-dimensionally. We're going to look at it three-dimensionally.
What did he mean when he said fine?
And he's completely innocent.
But what did he mean when he said find votes that don't exist after certification? What could that possibly mean other than find votes that don't exist?
Well, I will say this, and that is that, again, looking at the entire 62 minutes, putting it all in context, there was nothing illegal said by our client, nothing. And so anybody that wants to listen to 62 minutes will know that that was a perfectly legal phone call.
And if that wasn't bad enough, it became even more apparent that Trump's lawyer is exactly the type of guy you'd expect to represent someone who stares into the sun during a solar eclipse after just being told not to. When Melber simply asked him to acknowledge that Donald Trump lost the election in Georgia.
Do you acknowledge that Donald Trump lost?
But that's what I stay focused on.
Do you acknowledge that Donald Trump lost the Georgia election?
I am.
That's an easy one. Do you acknowledge that, Drew?
No, I'm focused. Let me tell you what I'm focused on. I'm focused on being a criminal defense attorney and seeing that my client is being swept up in what has, to me, been a ridiculous circus atmosphere, special purpose grand jury.
No, and you made that point, but
not only in this case, but on other cases.
You made that point, but do you acknowledge?
I'm not going to sit there.
Do you acknowledge?
Ari,
do you acknowledge that he lost the state of Georgia?
You can talk to other political people. Why would we even talk about that? What does that have to do? What does it have to do with me defending President Trump in this matter. It has
I'll
zero
tell you what it
to
has
do
to
with
do.
it.
I
What
appreciate
it
it. All
does,
right,
what it does.
You've raised a rhetorical question. What does that have to do? Let's listen to Donald Trump lying to people, some of whom later committed crimes, some of whom other Republicans committed the potential crime of misleading the government about who were the duly stated electors of Georgia, which, of course, the current president, President Biden, won. Here's Donald Trump talking about Georgia. Take a listen.
You know, we won Georgia, just so you understand. They cheated and they rigged our presidential election, but we will still win it.
That was December 2020. That was a lie, and it was, in concert with these other things, a lie that induced these people to submit this elector fraud, which may or may not be charged, and which, as of January 6th, they were trying to bring some of that in different states, not Georgia, by the way, to the floor of the Senate that was been uncovered. So again,
And at this point, I'm just wondering why Trump's attorneys continue to go on his show. Is it a glutton for punishment thing, or did they really leave thinking, that went well?
Here's why it's not a lie.
Yeah.
Because it was a confidential settlement. So if he acknowledged that, he would be violating the confidential settlement. So is it the truth? Of course it's not the truth. Was he supposed to tell the truth? He would be in violation of the agreement if he told the truth. So by him doing that, he was abiding by not only his rights, but Stormy Daniels' rights.
It seems like we're drawing some blood here because you're having a strong reaction. He did lie about it, and in a confidential settlement, you can easily say, no comment, or I'm not getting into it. He says, and the reason why I look at this, he says, no, I didn't know about it. But he did know about it, didn't he?
But here's the thing.
Lock him up. Indictment season is upon us. Celebrate with the new Indictment Season t-shirt and v-neck exclusively at store.MeidasTouch.com.